Hello, I'm Rob Westervelt, editor of Chemical Week, welcoming you to the 2019 GPCA Forum. And I'm delighted to be joined today by Yousef Al Benyan, Vice Chairman and CEO of SABIC. Yousef, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So, very interesting speech today. Obviously, a lot of attention to the structural and the cyclical forces that are impacting industry. As an industry, how should it respond? How does it become more agile to address some of the challenges that you outlined today?
Well, I think as an industry, we need to realize the fact that what solutions that have been used for the last 4 decades is not necessarily going to be the same solutions that can take us from today to the future. So we have a traditional way of approaching this current challenges through reliability, through cost management, but this is not going to make it. I think what we need to do, we need to have much better open-minded, how can we consolidate some of the business that we have in a global scene, and also how can we look at partnerships that kind of bring synergies and values. Especially if you want to stay relevant to the market, you cannot just have one of your assets only in one region. You have to go at least into 2-3 regions that is going to be the main players in the future chemical industry. Finally, you need to invest in innovation and technology, because I think this is going to be a very strong competitive edge for the company in the future.
And obviously, SABIC is doing a lot of that today. Dive a bit deeper on that. What is SABIC doing?
Well, of course, we as SABIC, we have gone through a transformation journey since 2016, and I think we start seeing the benefits, in fact, for the last 2 years from the restructuring program that we have done. What we do today in order for us to stay competitive and provide solutions to our customers globally, we are focusing on our reliability. We focus on innovations and technology. Every year we bring more than 150 new products, a new solution to the markets. It's not only bringing a customer satisfaction, but also bring a higher return and higher margin for us. In addition, of course, we look at a growth strategy. We think growth is going to be very critical, and that's why we look at the growth in North America to stay really one of the major players there. In China, in addition, we are exploring new regions like Africa in order for us to strengthen our global business.
Another key theme, obviously, sustainability. What's changing there, and what do companies need to be aware of, and how well are they embracing that challenge today?
That's a good question. In fact, it's my simple definition of sustainability for companies, 2 types. If they take it as a must, because regulators are really pushing sustainability targets, I think they will not be able to make it in the future. But the other camp, which SABIC part of it, is we look at sustainability as an integral part of our business. We do it because a good business, I think, is going to, of course, satisfy the regulators and their targets, but in the same time also we show that we are a very strong, good citizen for the environment, for our consumers, for our citizens. And I think sustainability is very important. We in SABIC, we have a very clear strategy for sustainability, and we are very active to achieve our target on that.
And obviously a lot of attention around partnerships, which you've touched on a bit here. Talk about how partnerships are evolving, moving beyond simple joint ventures, and what's SABIC doing in that area, and what do companies in this region need to do to improve partnerships?
Again, I have highlighted today, it's the success of the petrochemical industry is really rely heavily on the JVs. I mean, look at SABIC. Since inception, we started with JV, with the global chemicals. And that's why in the GCC, we are in the 55% comparing to the global in terms of really JV structures. But in a global scene, we are very low, we are very conservative. And I think we are trying to encourage our key players in the region. You need to reach out to other major markets like US, China, and other places in order for you to start really having a footprint to strengthen your base, which is in the GCC. If you cannot go through consolidations or JV, you can go through partnerships. You are having access to marketing network, supply chain networks, and more importantly also access to technology and best practices. So I believe I have said this for the last 3 years. You know, I promote and strong advocates on consolidations to strengthen the base of the GCC petrochemicals. If you cannot do consolidations to grow and through scale, I think you need to go through partnerships, but you need to select the partners that you work with.
And a final question about the operating environment you inspected in 2020. You mentioned relatively tough year in 2019. Right now we're planning for 2020. What are you expecting next year? What type of environment do you expect for SABIC and the industry?
Well, I personally expect that 2020 will be more or less 2019. However, I think because of a lot of uncertainties happening right now, either in the trade side or in geopolitical side, or also in the energy market, I think company has to focus on, again, their internal self-help measures that can really control their performance and bring higher value for the shareholders. But one thing I would like to highlight for our participant in GPCA, during tough time, make sure that you don't go after anything related to safety or people, because safety is very important for our industry, for our communities, and at the same time for our employees as well. So during this time, SABIC, we focus on reliability, we focus on innovation, as I said earlier, and also cost management. I think will enable us to do it without forgetting about the growth. So we are committed for our growth without anything that can really compromise our credit rating or our dividend policy. So and I'm always optimistic because the chemical industry has a very promising future, especially with the 3.5% to 4% growth year over year. I think we have a good, healthy industry.
Great. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.